Hi, everybody. This is Jason.
This is Pete.
And this is the Lost Legions podcast. And what are we doing today, Pete?
We're talking about our top 5 favorite Legion Rites of War.
Woo-hoo. Yes. So, yeah, we've been sitting with this for a couple of weeks now, and we've been tossing stuff back and forth. And I think that these are the top 5. We think the biggest winners. I think I have one contentious one, and we can see that as we start. In my opinion, Pete has one contentious one. So we will see. We'll see when we get to that, but why don't we kick it off?
Yeah, so first one's up. Oh, hang on, here we go. There we are. Nice and smooth. Top 5 Legion Rites of War. First one is Jason's
Night Lords.
The Night Lords.
So I think that these guys actually, they did come down a bit, right? Like their old Legion reaction was really, their old Legion talent was really, really good.
Yeah.
Now it's been muted a lot. Now it's just +1 versus any weapon skill versus any unit with a status effect on it. I think though, because they also still get the war gear ability to cause fear, and the fact that they can manufacture these situations where their units are going to run in and get +1 weapon skill, I think it's actually still really good. I have a feeling that we're going to actually be able to see them do a lot with this +1 weapon skill. I also like, now we've kind of dug into detachments a little bit more. I'm starting to see the flavor around detachments, how they are kind of the echo of the old Rites of War we had from 2.0. And in this, you have the Atramantar Hunt and the Terror Assault one. And what I'm starting to find out is that the prime slots are actually very flavorful and very cool, and detachments with prime slots are really good. These two both have prime slots in them, and I feel like that's really, really excellent. And this is why this comes out to be my 5th favorite, and I think actually more powerful than I think people are letting on or realizing. Rite of War. So I think this is my 5th top winner right now. This is my dark horse.
I've only just clocked it. The Atramantar detachment gets 3 prime slots. That's crazy.
But the thing is they need to have the Atramantar prime ability. So it's not as flexible as you'd think. But the Atramantar prime ability is pretty good. Its unit gives deep strike, which is not so great, arguably, but they also gain impact, So they're going to be attacking at +1 initiative when they charge. So, like, it is really good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that...
Sorry, go ahead. Okay, Karen, I'll ask us next. My bad.
I was just going to say, combined with talent for murder now, so if you basically have snipers or flamers or anything putting statuses on people, I mean, I think the Night Lords players are going to have a lot of these, right? Like Seekers, anything that can easily put statuses on people. I think that you're then going to be able to like run your Atramantar in and get +1 weapon skill. It'll be great. If they're a command squad, they could probably have weapon skill 6 on the charge, which is really, really good.
It's only when you charge you get the +1.
I believe it's at any time. I'll have to double check, but yeah.
That's interesting, because if you have a status effect on you, and you're charging someone, you always count as making a disordered charge, right? So it'll be interesting to see if you can receive a charge by someone that has a status effect on them, and you then get this +1 weapon skill.
I see what you're saying. You mean, so I mean, like if they charge you, then and you have +1 weapon skill. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. If they have a status effect. Right, because disorder charge, so you could come out of a rhino and you have but I don't think that counts as having a status effect. You're just a disorder
let's say you're being charged and you have a flamethrower in your Night Lords unit, for example, that's being charged. You could do an Overwatch reaction. I think you can do them with flamers still.
Okay,
I believe so. With your Fear 1 and the Panic 1 on the flamer, that would trigger a status check at -2. At which point, then you're receiving a disordered charge. At which point, now you're going to get the +1 weapon skill. I think, if I'm The rulebook drops
Yeah.
in 2 days, so we'll know for sure, because we're still just picking bits apart on our phones, which is a bit awkward, obviously. But I think that's how that would work.
But I think that, like, from what you're saying and like all this together, I think it's going to turn out to be way cooler, or way better for the Night Lords player than initially it kind of looked like. So this is why this is my 5th top winner, even though I think it's my dark horse. So yeah,
and you've got like at least 3,000 points of them, so that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always handy.
Probably more now that Laughs Cannons went up.
Yeah. All right.
Why don't we jump to your 5th favorite?
Yeah, so my 5th favorite is, I hate to say this because I'm an Iron Warriors player, but the Iron Hands are the 5th best, let's say best in my opinion, rather than favorite, for a favorite Rites of War. I think they're really strong. They've stayed near enough the same on their Legion traits, so you still got the -1 strength to ranged weapons coming in, their Tactica, the Gorgon Scales. I think that's always going to be strong. I don't see that ever really changing in a war game where it's about killing enemy models primarily. It's always going to be a strong thing. Their detachments, you've obviously got the Medusan Vanguard, which is pretty cool. You got 1 prime slot there, and then the Spearhead Phalanx as well, which looks like you have to take Land Raider carriers or Spartans, so no Charybdis or Dreadnought drop pods there as you transport, so that's more than fine. I like their reaction quite a lot. So despite the Gorgon, I think it's probably a bit more useful than the Iron Warriors one, and we'll come on to that at some other point, I'm sure. So you get to make a return for an Overwatch reaction when you charge, but you gain +1 firepower to your guns of that unit, and gain the overload special roll. Right. So it's very similar to the Iron Warriors one, but it's done as against an assault rather than a return fire. And their prime slot, Ironclad, I didn't appreciate this fully until you pointed something out to me. So you get to add an additional war engine slot to the detachment that includes this prime slot, which is pretty cool. It's a way of getting a free dreadnought. And then that unit gains the champion subtype, which, as Jason pointed out to me, means they can accept and initiate challenges. I went and looked at the champion subtype thing. Yeah, I went and looked at the champion subtype, and it says champion subtypes can issue and accept challenges. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. That means their dreadnoughts can be like, I choose you, Pikachu. And okay. Yeah, crush. So yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I think they look good. They look good. On to your next one. Okay. Surprise. The Iron Hands. My 4th is Iron Hands. Pretty much for everything that you were saying. I still think they're very strong. They, I think, did very well in the lottery of Rites of War. I think they're good. Pretty much for all the reasons we kind of have ran through. So I don't have much to add. Move forward then? Yeah, let's move on to your number 4. So my number 4 is the Emperor's Children. I think these guys have kind of gotten better, I think. Mainly because a lot of other stuff's gotten worse, is how I kind of feel about it, but we'll go for it. So you get the Flawless Execution +1 initiative when they charge. That's a lot more important now with all of the initiative modifiers on weapons. So it's no more just a case of you go at initiative or you're striking unwieldy. There's obviously the whole list of things in between now. So there's some really nice, interesting combos there. Right, because you're like, Thunderhammers are -2, so you're going to only be -1 when you charge. Yeah, exactly. And if you're a initiative 5 character, you're going to be swinging at the same speed as initiative 4 regular dude, like an initiative 4 veteran marine or something, right? So it's pretty cool. Yeah. It's pretty decent. Paragon of Excellence +2 for your focus roll for the Gambit. Yeah, it makes sense. The detachment, the primacy wing is fine. It feels like it's just been put in there for. I don't know. It doesn't do a lot. I mean, it's getting in some fast. It's almost like, hey, do you want to take an elite or a retinue? Here's some fast attack options as well, or something like that, right?
I think some of these are good because they give you more options, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't have to take anything. But if you're like, oh, I want to take speeders and I want to take an elite or a command squad, I can just take this primacy detachment. Like, it gives you more options. So some of these are actually good just because they let you take more stuff that you're going to take anyway.
Yeah. And then your prime, you get a Phoenix Warden, which is pretty cool. He comes with a Power Spear, gains the unmatched skill roll, which is +1 weapon skill to hit or to defend the first turn of combat. So, yeah, all in all, pretty cool still.
There's a lot of words to describe those when I was like,
thank you for shortening this down. Jason has made this lovely PowerPoint. So, yeah, thank you. Anything else you want to add to them?
So I do. They almost made my list, and I really looked them over. They would have been my 5th place.
Okay.
But I thought it would be more interesting to bring in the Night Lords. And the more I looked at the Night Lords, the more I thought about them, the more I thought that they would be a dark horse. So I think the Emperor's Children are very strong. I think they didn't lose very much. And I think that they're going to be in a very good place. So I agree with you that they're very good.
I forgot to point out the bit I think is probably the most impressive thing about them is their reaction, the perfect counter. So that's changed massively. So you get to charge when you're charged. It used to be that you used to have to roll higher than your opponent to make a bigger charge distance than your opponent. Now you just have to successfully make the charge. You don't get to do a setup move.
Yeah.
But it's probably more odds on that you're going to beat your opponent. I think it's a lot better now. So, yeah, pretty cool. Moving on to your number 3. Your number 3.
My number 3. So I think the Iron Warriors have really come up in this edition. Like, I think that they've gotten rid of their +1 to wound thing, but that was always kind of awkward, I thought. It didn't really fit them, in my opinion, just their fluff.
The +1 strength on vehicles and dreadnoughts, that thing.
Yeah. Their fluff was always like, they keep moving forward, they don't stop, they don't care about casualties. Perturabo's like has the Aquabus like just sitting there counting out how many people it's gonna take to get to the thing, and he's just like, send 15 more, we should then take the tower. Like, he doesn't care. And I think the bitter end, the no modifiers for leadership or cool checks from pinning, stun, or suppressive is really, really good. I think it's one of the better actual Legion traits at this point. I'm
pretty sure it's panic as well. Drop us a comment right now. I'm sorry. Only because I've been playing it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's all of the status effects, which is even better, right? But yeah,
I know it is panic. I actually remember. Sorry, guys. This was me preparing. This is my draw. It is because I remember reading it because I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, what about flamers? I'm like, oh, they against flamers they weren't. Yeah, so it is panic as well. My bad. No. Ignore that. But yeah, I mean, so their gambit's good, hitting you back after you die. For mooks, like, I mean, I think especially it's really good.
Yeah.
Especially if the mook has a power fist, like the mook sergeant, he still gets to swing. I think that's actually kind of really good. Oh, if he's a champion, it'd be the only thing. So you'd have to have a paragon. He'd have to be upgraded to be a paragon, so he could challenge.
Yeah.
Detachment, Hammer of Olympia. They have 2 of them. I think they're both pretty good. The Hammer Olympia one with the 2 prime slots, I think, is excellent, right? Like, that is really, really good because prime slots you're scrapping to find sometimes, especially in the basic detachments. Like, I have a Raven Guard army, and I'm looking at the Raven Guard detachment, and I'm like, there's no freaking prime slot in this.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, they have 2. So prime slots can be used for so many things. Again, I think that both of their detachments are really good. The reaction's good, and their prime bonus, expendable 1, is also really good. So I think that just overall, I thought they've come up really well. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think their do not take modifiers is going to be huge. I'm very excited to play my first game. Very, very excited. Just adding something, I'm not a huge fan of the Ironfire cohort purely for it being Arquita Bombard units. And the last time I checked, they're out of stock. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's going to come to plastic at some point and then it'll be fine. But like right now, it's like, hey, here's this thing. And I really want to take a prime tank. But literally, I don't think I can buy one unless they're in stock. But even so, I think I'll wait till it's plastic now. Moving on to the Ultramarines, my number 3.
This is your dark horse, I feel.
This is. I think I actually really want to do an Ultramarines force. It's really creeping up on me, and I need to be careful because I've spent far too much money on building my Iron Warriors army already. So their flexibility, tactical flexibility, I don't think, it doesn't appear to be anything amazing, but it looks like you're going to be using reactions a lot more in this edition, considering you have your pool and you can, use all 3 of them in whatever your pool. You can use all your pool in one turn if you want to, or in one round of one phase of the game rather than one per phase or something like that now. So you're using reactions more of the time. So by allowing a reaction to be -1 cost down to 0 per turn means you're getting a spare reaction every single turn, which is pretty huge. And I'm thinking about that if you tag that up with maybe an Augur command squad, which also does the same. It lets you refund your reaction allotment if you've within 18 inches or something along those lines. You can be just chucking out reactions all day, every day here, which is pretty interesting to see. So I like the idea up.
If everyone has 3, you have 4, right? So
yes. But what I'm saying is you can lean into it and stack an Augur command squad or 2, right? And be like, I've got 6 reactions this turn. Aha. Yeah. Anyway. So I think that's pretty cool. Their detachment is pretty nice. It's like something of everything, which I'm into that. That's cool. I think that's the idea behind it, right? So you got some support, some fast attack, a couple of troops choices. It almost feels like a miniature allied detachment in there.
Cool.
And
it has that prime slot on the Centurion, which is cool, right? Again, any of these
Optate. Hot potato.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they're so obsessed with this Optate unit. However you pronounce it.
It's just a cheap way of getting an extra detachment, right?
He shows up in a bunch of things, though.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why.
He's like the old school Centurion. He's like the Centurion before the Centurion got big boy rules.
This is true, and I feel about him about the same as I felt about the Centurion. Not impressed.
Yeah.
I like the new Centurion.
Because he now does something. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, that's a cool little detachment. Their prime benefit, Logisticae, 1 additional transport with +2 capacity. Now, I think that could be really, really cool. That's going to allow you to probably shoehorn an extra Saturnine unit, maybe, into certain vehicles. Model, rather. That's going to allow you to put, 6... What's the transport capacity of a Land Raider now? Is it 10 or 12?
12.
So it's going to go to 14. So you could put 7 Terminators in a Land Raider. Is that right? Yeah.
I guess Gilliman's just, all right, you stuff him on top.
Yeah, clown car, basically, prime clown car. It's pretty cool. I mean, there are better ones, but yeah.
It's not useless. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Some of them are useless.
And their reaction, being able to return fire with a different unit is fired upon, is pretty decent. So
yeah.
That's obviously self-explanatory and pretty cool. Yeah, I think they're cool. I like them. I think they're going to be quite decent.
I don't think they're as good as you feel they are, but
tell me how you really feel.
I do think that they're okay. This is why we disagree about some stuff, but I do think they're good. I just don't know. I don't know if I'd put them at 3.
Yeah,
they're up. They don't suck. Some people really got punched in the face, I think, but I think Ultramarines came off pretty good.
Fair enough. We'll move on. Your number 2.
My number 2 is the Raven Guard.
Mm.
I think the internet's been freaking out about them. I don't think they're quite as good as everybody thinks. I did play one game with them. The 18-inch thing doesn't always come into effect, right? And like I had a lot of close combat units, so basically nothing came of it. They just kind of avoided shooting my ones that were far away. So I guess it did have some effect in the game, and you can really lean into it. But I do think it's really good. And I think it's really going to affect how your opponents are going to play against you. I think you can really lean into it. You can hide on the back of the board and then ambush them as they come towards you. And I think it's interesting because I feel like it's flipped the Raven Guard play on its head. The Raven Guard used to be like, come at you with infiltrate and then pull back. But now they're going to hang back and jump you and slow you down to keep you away. This is just in my head.
Yeah.
As you try to close with them to get into that 18 distance, so you're not snap firing at them. They're good. I think they're really, really good. The reactions, okay. It got a little bit of a nerf. You move your initiative and gain +5 shrouded. When they shoot at you, their decapitation cadre is decent. It's good. It's got everything you're going to use. It doesn't have a prime slot, unfortunately. I'd say the only thing that is not great is the Wraiths, their prime ability. It's not useless, but when you rush, your opponents that charge them are disordered. So the only problem with this is that you're kind of setting yourself up to get charged in order to use this, which I guess, depending on what you're doing or how you're using it, could actually be handy. But it's a lot more situational, I think, than I would like for one of these prime slots. It's not just always useful, which a lot of them I feel are always useful. But overall, I think that the Shadow Walkers makes them extremely strong, so they come out as my second biggest winner for the Rite of War lottery.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. They're pretty good. Pretty damn good. All right. My number 2. The Salamanders. These guys have changed quite a bit, haven't they? So
yeah, they have. Yeah.
Yeah, Prometheum Endurance, only wounded on a 3+, so no more wounding them on 2s. That's pretty huge. Pretty damn huge. And you ignore the status check from Flamers. So that's nice and fluffy.
Just a quick note. I think they're the only person with 2 powers on their Tactica, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Cool.
Well, I mean, yeah, unless you're breaking down each individual status check, then the Iron Warriors have 4. But I mean,
all right. I mean, brag some more.
Yeah, I mean, you could say it like that, I guess. They got a cool gambit, the Duty of Sacrifice. Basically, what you get +1 to 3 to focus roll, take 1 to 3 wounds at AP dash. So you can choose how much you want to power it up, basically.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Reaction again is cool. It's all about, sacrifice myself. I will put myself on the altar to defend this or whatever. So +1 strength attack and weapon skill at the cost of taking a wound on a 1 with a d6 roll. And they get 6 plus feel no pain for their prime on a single unit.
Which I think is really good.
Yeah.
In the window where we're not seeing as much feel no pain. So the fact that you can just take a 6 up feel no pain on a whole unit is good.
Yeah, agreed. And then, the Immolation Covenant. Anything that lets you take a bit of support and a bit of something else, I think is going to be pretty good. I think we're going to see the support detachment being used a lot. But the negative of the support detachment is it comes with 2 troops, which it's not negative, but it's not, you might not be screaming out for more troops. So like something like this here, pretty good, because it allows you to take Predators or Vindicators, which are looking pretty strong anyway. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you really like Vindicators. I also like that there's a prime. That's a prime slot. That support slot is a prime slot, and that is really good. So that's. I mean, and that can also be used as something else. You could take a dreadnought with that if you needed to, because it's a prime slot if you fill it. So I think it just allows a lot more flexibility. So any of these ones that have a prime slot, I think, are a lot better. Cool.
I want to see someone do a prime Arachne quad accelerator platform. Just, why not? That'd be terrible, wouldn't it? Next.
Do you want to jump to my number one? Yay! It's the Salamanders. So yeah, pretty much for everything we've kind of discussed, I think that they have improved the most. I think that they were pretty. I think that in 2.0 they were not great. Let me just put it that way. And I'm glad to see them on the table with a lot more stuff to offer. You know, I think their units are really good. I think that they now have access to special war gear of every type of like close combat weapon, which is really neat. They all have a little bonus on them. They feel like the artificers that they're supposed to be. And I feel like they've never really had that too much before.
No.
Their mantle like stops wounds from like, I think it's Melta, Volkite, Plasma, and one other, but it turns it down to one wound. So
okay,
a lot of their tough characters are going to really be hard to take down because you're going to be chipping off one wound with like Melta guns on them. And I think overall they're a very strong Legion now in 3.0, and I'm glad to see it.
Do you think they're tougher than the Iron Hands or not?
That's an interesting thing to kind of equate. So I think that in close combat, they're definitely tougher, right? Because power fists and stuff are going to be wounding them on a 3. Power axes are going to be wounding them on a 4. And their Terminators and stuff, I think, might be a little bit tougher in the fact that people are going to be shooting heavy weapons at you, right? And again, they're wounding you on 3s. Small arms fire, the Iron Hands are way tougher, right? Like they're just that -1 strength on range thing is just it's been nerfed a little bit because there is no instant death anymore. But like against small arms, anything that's like strength 4 or 5, it's gonna rain off of them.
Yeah.
But the Salamanders are just going to survive bigger hits more often, which I think is good for your expensive units. I think for their troops, it's not going to matter as much. I think the Iron Hands troops are stronger, and I think the elite units for Salamanders are stronger. That's how I break it down.
So what you're saying is you want a Shattered Legions, elite Salamanders, and then basic troops, Iron Hands.
It is funny because I'm doing Shattered Legions. So yeah.
And then a couple just like ranged Raven Guard units out the back. Just
I mean, complete aside, what I'm probably going to do is have Raven Guard and then allied Salamanders, and then just chuck the occasional Iron Hands guy in as flavor.
Yeah.
And just run them as the Salamanders until we get the Shattered Hands, the Shattered Legion rules. But and hopefully if they're not terrible
Shattered Hands,
time, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of doing Shattered Legions. I think it's really cool, and I'm glad that the Salamanders, the Raven Guard, and the Iron Hands are all pretty good. Why don't we jump to your number one?
Yep. So top of pick for me, of course, has to be the Iron Warriors, as for pretty much every single reason Jay said earlier.
Yeah.
The only extra thing I'll say that we didn't really mention is their reaction, which is the Bitter Fury. That's still pretty cool, right? So you get return fire, an increase to your firepower by 1, and you gain the overloads special rule. So yeah, you get to crank out a few more shots if you need to. But the real attraction here is them having the immunity to modifiers for status checks and that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, and that seemed to be so. I mean, I played a grand total of 1 game so far, but like it was the status effects seemed to be very, very prominent in the game, right? And again, this is why I leaned into the Night Lords for my number 5, because I thought that because the status effects are so prominent, they might actually be a really good Legion for putting them on people.
Yeah. Let us know what your top 5 are in the comments, guys.
Yeah.
Perhaps our most favourite set with reasons why we will pin at the top of our comments board. How about that, Jay? That could be fun.
That sounds good.
It sounds like extra work, but that sounds fun. So yeah, let us know what your top 5 are. Let us know why we're wrong, and we'll see you in the next one. Unless there's anything else you want to add, Jay.
No, that's it. Bye, guys.
Bye.